Welcome to Plague City.
And we're on.
This is just how we hang out now, I guess.
You got a cough, right? You said you had a cough. So
Yeah.
I thought this was necessary.
Yeah, I do have a bit of a dry cough. I don't know where it came from.
You've not been abroad?
No, I know people that have been abroad that I work with. They might have passed something on to me. I think this is just kind of essential now. This is how I live my life.
Okay, we can take them off now.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's quite comfortable. I quite like it. Okay.
Yeah, that's more than enough.
We shouldn't laugh.
Is that better?
Yeah. Thousands of people are dying. It's kind of unpleasant.
Yeah, we shouldn't be making fun of it.
No. It should be very, very serious. Very.
Trying.
Yeah. It's a bit worrying, isn't it?
Yes. So that's why I've invited you onto this second podcast.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Iestyn Lloyd, for anyone that doesn't know you. Anyone in Brighton probably does know you.
Yeah, sadly. Yes,
Yeah.
they probably do.
You're sort of an expert on coronavirus.
Oh, God.
You're a source of news for everybody in Brighton and also the press in the UK now.
Well, briefly, yeah, by accident. It's just because I tweet a lot and, I don't know, various people follow me and then retweet me to people that are then like, hang on, what's that? And yeah, so in the last outbreak, the first
Which was today.
The one, when was it? It was a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? The Brighton super spreader, which is a little harsh, poor guy. Yeah, because also one of my friends had just come back from Hong Kong and had sort of flu symptoms, so he was asked to self-isolate and tested and had to go to a decontamination unit.
So this all happened before you heard about the Brighton outbreak?
That was at the same time. So yeah, I think it was like one day it was, this guy, he's come back and infected people. And then my mate was like, I've just come back and I'm feeling really ill from Hong Kong. Yes, fortunately he went and got checked out and he was fine.
Oh, that's good.
He was fine, but yeah, he was in isolation for I think about a week, I think. And I can imagine that wasn't much fun, particularly as I don't think he really plays many computer games, because I can imagine that would be pretty much all I'd do if I was in self-isolation. But yeah,
that sounds quite easy.
Some press contacted me, asked me some questions. I ended up being anonymous and going in, having some quotes and a photo of my stash.
What, your stash?
Did I tell you any of this?
No.
Yeah, so I contacted them. They're like, what's it like in Brighton? And I replied, and somebody from Channel 4 also contacted. But anyway, I ended up talking to The Guardian, and just anonymously quoted me. I was Ian from Brighton.
All right.
And a photo of my stash of a respirator and various... What else was there? Goggles, respirator, the masks, the gloves. There's some other shit as well.
This is after we'd convinced each other to buy.
Yes,
right.
Yeah, pretty much the day after that.
It was that photo, wasn't it, of the Chinese restaurant that got you the attention from the press?
Yeah, yes, I think it might have been that, which I found on...
Oh, I thought you'd taken the photo.
No,
They were
no. Take other people's work and pass it off as your own. No, I did. No, I managed to find the person that originally posted it and put them in contact with the press. But they wanted to talk to me because I guess they were already in contact with me. Just pass off other people's effort and hard work as your own. Honestly, I live by that. So.
But you do seem to be on it, all over it. You know, people do look to you for the latest news.
Yeah, which is weird. And the same with Brexit as well, but let's not talk about Brexit.
No, let's not go there.
I don't know. I guess kind of just becoming, I'd say borderline obsessed. Other people would probably say obsessed. I think they're wrong.
Obsessed is a dirty word, and it shouldn't be really. That's my feeling anyway.
Yeah. there's nothing wrong with that, as long as it doesn't kind of cause any negative consequences, I think. But no, I just get hyper into certain topics,
Yeah.
like you do.
Yes. We have that in common.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, I don't know, I find something interesting, and if it piques my interest, then just, I don't know, I want to know as much about it as possible. But I certainly wouldn't pass myself off as any kind of expert or anything like that, just somebody who's a fucking nerd.
Yeah, a funnel.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
a funnel of
exactly, yeah,
information.
see all that kind of shit. Like all the conspiracy theories, no, that's nonsense. But yeah, I think the most of my concern on coronavirus is based on statistics and numbers rather than any kind of shock stories or anything like that. You only need to see how it's exploded in China, and then pretty obvious going, if you have a disease that has got is going to be if you're an asymptomatic spreader and it's got an incubation period of like a week or 2 weeks, because we're such a globally connected society, it's pretty obvious that is going, or could get everywhere, all over the world pretty quickly. And if it's also pretty serious after a while, so that the virus can reproduce and spread, and it also happens to maybe kill you, it's pretty obvious that it's going to be a really big problem because of the globally connected society. So when I saw that take off in early mid-January, it's like, oh look, it ticks every single box for something to be kind of worried about.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And what was interesting is so many people are quick to poo-poo any kind of taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Which it's interesting.
Yeah, I think that maybe a lot of people are kind of, they're used to having to worry about the latest thing the media tells them to worry about. And perhaps people just kind of like, well, hang on, I've been living my life fine all the way along. That hasn't affected me that they've told me to worry about. Brexit, turns out it hasn't affected me yet because we haven't actually, we're still in regulatory alignment. But anyway, let's not get into that. I don't know. Why are you so worried, James? Are you worried?
I'm trying not to be. It doesn't help that I know you.
Thanks, man. That means a lot.
No, so I wasn't worried. We've had viruses like this happen all over the world. It never really reaches us.
No.
I don't know if it's because of social media that we're more aware of it now, but the fact that it landed on Brighton shore before anybody anywhere else in the world, that's interesting.
Yeah, that did shit me up.
Well, it's very hard to separate what's happened in China, and I've never been to China.
No, I haven't.
I imagine some people might think that China is not the most cleanly environment to live in, and so problems like this could spread quicker than they could in the UK. But I've not been. That's just conjecture.
Yeah.
The fact that someone had it here and very quickly there's 3 more cases. Yeah, for me, I'm a business owner.
Yep.
I think of our staff somewhat like children to some extent.
Yeah.
A paternal instinct, of course.
People you have to look after.
Yes, indeed. And so I've actually bought masks for all of them. They don't know yet. They're going to find out now.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. You're going to just open it up, give one out, or...
Well, if it comes to it, and, it's the apocalypse,
yes,
I want people to be able to come to work. So, there are masks, and there are rubber gloves here.
Good.
And
Good.
Wipes and all that stuff.
Yep. Have you got a coronavirus cupboard? Cupboards.
Pretty much a cupboard,
storage area.
A secret storage area.
Excellent.
But this is crazy talk for a lot of people.
Yeah, I imagine it is. Yeah.
Very early on, I spoke to my family about it. And they were like, don't be ridiculous.
Yep.
It's no worse than the flu. People die from the flu all the time. I'm like, well, that's true, but we don't know. We don't know what this is yet.
No, it's new. We don't know what all the effects are going to be. We don't know exactly how long it lasts on surfaces. Whether it does, maybe it's transferred by aerosol. don't definitively know yet. And I mean, it could mutate, but let's not worry about that. Yeah, you know, I mean, it might happen. But yeah.
But the reason I'm interested in this, and particularly in your interest in this, is this tendency to get into stuff and find out, to get to the bottom of things.
Yeah.
In a very efficient and, I guess, effective way. I remember a few years ago, I was like, I got interested in Scientology, not from a point of view of wanting to be a Scientologist, but just wanting to understand what was it.
Yep.
You'd already been there. You're like, watch this. I've done that. That was last year.
Yeah. Well, maybe we shouldn't talk about that word because, you know, get taken down. But yeah, I don't know. There was something about that made me look into it a long time ago. And yeah, I mean, very interesting from a kind of a interesting way of getting people to think the way you want them to think. I mean, I find, I don't know, what psychology and what psychological manipulation, is that it? Programming of people,
NLP.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's another thing that yeah.
You went down that
as well. Yeah, cool. It's, I don't know, it's about finding out how the world works.
Yes.
I think finding it, and then even further, if you looked into like chaos theory and quantum physics, there's a great book called The Elegant Universe. I don't know if it's still good. It was good 10 years ago, but I imagine quite a lot has changed.
Right.
But yeah, I know. I just want to find out how everything works. Really. I don't know. It's fun. But yeah, this kind of obsessive. Yeah. What is the difference? I don't know.
There needs to be another word that's the positive cousin of obsessed, right?
Because even if it says something like nerding out, that would be, I don't know, some people might see negative connotations in that, although nerds have certainly reclaimed that word.
Yeah,
I don't know. But there is something about just, I don't know, there's something with perhaps the scientific method of investigating things and finding out more, and then it replacing existing ways of thinking about topics. What's the right word? The scientific method of discovery, investigation.
Right.
We know that existing ways of thinking has been replaced again and again and again over the years for various different topics. And I guess there is always the possibility of finding a new way of thinking about something that then becomes like peer-reviewed and so on, and becomes the new accepted way of thinking about something. And
that's optimistic.
Well, yeah. But when it comes to, I don't know, I think that maybe a scientific mind makes me go, well, hang on, there's always going to be a new way of thinking about things coming up.
Okay.
And maybe investigating that and seeing if that's actually got any legs, or whether I think that's actually bullshit.
So it's recognizing that things are always changing.
Yeah, I think so. And kind of like adapting and evolving to, to what? Investigate and maybe eventually take advantage of those things. Like Bitcoin.
Yeah. Just to get at the truth, right?
Well, see, you went down one path on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But we both went into the let's look into it shitloads. And you were like, I love it. And I was like, this is bollocks.
Well, I think you misunderstood. Because I got into BitGold. And you were like,
yes,
Bitcoin's rubbish. I was like, I don't disagree. I'm into BitGold.
Yeah. I had a look after one of our disagreements. It looked a bit like a pyramid scheme.
Oh, really?
Some kind of, I don't know, there was something there that was just like, what was it? Was it BitGold? It was probably BitGold. This was a while ago.
So there's another BitGold, which is a bit dodgy.
Right.
So that might have been that one.
Okay.
But this one got renamed to Gold Money.
Oh, right.
It's just a savings vehicle.
Okay.
It's basically a savings account.
Yeah.
But instead of saving in currency, you save in gold.
Are you trying to sell it to me?
I'm trying to defend my choices.
Do you get a referral fee?
No.
No. You sure?
Yeah, not for talking about it on a podcast.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Do you want to just say your referral code now? No, all right, okay, fair enough.
To all the tens of people that are watching.
Yep, a tens. You reckon I'll get that far?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think the last podcast got about 100 views.
What the living fuck?
Yeah.
Fuck. All right, fair enough.
But,
excellent.
So coming back to this, sort of getting deeply interested in a topic to try and understand where things are going to move.
Yeah.
Yes, you got in early on Unity. And
thanks to you.
Well, not. I mean, you were already looking.
Yeah. Yes,
you
were.
could see.
Yeah.
I think it was you that was actually talking about Steve Jobs. Talking about the fact he wasn't going to support Flash and never would.
Yes. Yeah.
And I fortunately found Unity and put you onto it, but it didn't require any kind of convincing.
No. I'd always been interested in. I had always seen 2D as something that was kind of a placeholder for me for 3D, which I'm going back quite a long time. It all came from playing Star Glider on the Spectrum, which was a 3D game where you're kind of like flying a spaceship about and shooting a few things and doing little small missions. And I wasn't very good at it. I was quite young. But that was always just like, this is the future. 3D is the future. And so when kind of Flash was around and doing everything was 2D, when things like Paper Vision came out, I found like all of that was just like, this has to be the future, but it's so clunky and difficult to use.
And Adobe weren't taking it seriously.
Yeah.
The Collada file format.
Oh God. Yeah. It was all just it was an absolute nightmare. And Flash was, I don't know, they were doing their best with Paper Vision. Was it Mr. Doob or something like that were writing it?
Something like that.
They were doing a great job, but it was all just, it's just a pain in the arse. And I tried learning a few 3D modeling packages, but I'm not an artist, so I never really got anywhere with that.
Did you ever use Director?
Yes. Director was interesting. Lingo, the programming language that was kind of almost written in plain English in areas, which was weird. Macromedia sold that to Adobe, didn't they? I think.
Yeah, and Adobe just bought Macromedia.
Right. Yeah, that was a shame, isn't it?
Well, I guess so. Yeah, because Macromedia was the upstart. Ambitious,
great tech.
Yeah.
Director was great, and I did some Shockwave 3D stuff as well.
Right.
Oh God, what did I do with that?
That would have been so early.
I remember like using an early version of the Havoc physics engine,
right?
Integrated with Director to do
some sort of project. Monster trucks car racer or something.
Yeah, because some project for somebody. Is that a cough? Anyway, so very interested in 3D. And yeah, when I think you'd highlighted Unity to me for doing like web player. Was it web player content? Maybe
possibly
back then in 1 point something or 2 point something. And yeah.
There was that really early demo that they put out where you're walking around the island.
Yes, yeah.
And like, oh my God, this is running in a browser.
Yeah, that's fucking incredible. I love that. But it was that was made me just go, right, okay, 3D, and you can like just drag and drop stuff and write loads of code to back it up. Yeah. But just having that kind of visual scene view and just press play, it's just like, holy shit, this might actually be the future. And then kind of like that obsessive part of me came out and just like, I want to learn everything I can about this.
Was that when you were still at Little Loud?
Yeah. Yes, the end of towards the end. I think that Steve Jobs saying, well, he really didn't like Flash, did he?
Yeah, no, he didn't, and he didn't like games. Didn't like the idea of people playing Flash games on there.
There was some memo, I think, that he did, or Apple did about Flash, and it really was, I think, the death knell for many, many companies.
Yeah.
It was either adapt or die. And it was a great period of innovation with Flash. You had to wait like an extra couple of years for HTML5 to catch up or maybe even longer for, you know, that to catch up with what Flash could do.
Yeah.
And there's just for quite a long time, you know, sort of like around that time, just people like going, hey, look what you can do in a browser with HTML5. It's like, you could do that about 4 or 5 years ago or longer with Flash.
Quicker and easier. Yeah.
Yes, it's a terrible shame that, you know, so much of that digital history is now gone. Like,
the weird thing was that it was clear that Flash was dying and Unity was going to be probably the next vehicle that we could hitch onto.
Yes.
But it wasn't immediately clear where the funding was going to come from. Because there was all of this advertising revenue spent on Flash and also educational cash coming from the government.
Yep.
And that didn't happen. It's like Unity's a game engine.
Yeah.
So you're making all of this advertising content or web content. You either have to get into games or got to have business.
Yeah. That was it's a massive shift over that period of time, because a lot of work would be for, like, you know, BBC, Paramount, Universal, you know, doing stuff at MTV and Channel 4, and all that work has kind of changed now. I don't know whether that work exists. Would they get you to make games for their websites anymore?
No,
I don't know.
Well,
maybe
there was a period where you could make an app, right?
Yeah.
A gamey app.
Yeah, but nobody would commission an app these days and for those kind of things. I don't imagine. Everything's all, I don't know.
It's very different.
Yeah, I'm so far out of that world, I just have no idea what it is these days. Does it even exist? Do they have anything to replace that? Is it Instagram filters? It's probably something like that, isn't it?
So I think that once AR takes off properly, we'll have Flash again. The equivalent.
Yeah.
Because it will all be 2D
probably
stuff, augmented with 3D. Because we've got a 3D world.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, AR is hugely exciting. I slightly burned with VR in that, I mean, I still think VR is great. You know, a lot of uses. Bit burned with maybe just the over interest with, like, globally in VR.
What do you mean by the over interest?
It seemed like it was massively overhyped. I never really thought that it would be like everybody will have a VR headset.
Yeah.
Never thought that. More of a case of there are lots of uses for this technology, but not that, never really be a mass market. Never really thought that. I mean, I still don't have a PlayStation VR headset. I only used one once.
Yeah.
I don't often use VR these days, at least not recently. Occasionally to see, like, different mechanics and how things work, but I don't know, I don't play games much these days either.
Sad truth.
Yeah, and mainly just, you know, shit post on Twitter these days. That's the truth.
Yeah. I know what you mean about VR. It's we've obviously done a couple of games in VR.
Yeah.
Working on a third one, but yeah, it's going to take a lot longer before it moves anywhere.
Yeah, it needs to get a lot smaller, a lot faster, a lot better.
Yeah.
But yeah, AR is the kind of, like, you know, when are they going to come out with something that's actually good enough? I mean, Magic Leap.
You played around with that?
Have you used one? No. I was very, very impressed. And as long as we look at the miniaturization of technology and how that's happened, unless we come up against, you know, problems with physics itself in terms of miniaturization, then, you know, AR's got to be, surely it's got to be huge.
Yep.
Right?
It will be.
Yeah.
Well, you're betting on it?
I'd like it to happen. I think that there are definitely excellent use cases for it. You only have to, you know, see about these enormous factories that are using AR for showing people how to repair machinery. And about, you know, when you have, like, an expert that somewhere, instead of getting them to come out and fix it or show somebody how to fix it, just do it remotely.
Yeah.
AR in those contexts already makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of investment in certain areas for that. I'm just going to work spiel.
That's cool. I think dating apps are where it's going to kick off.
AR dating apps.
Yeah. where you can be on the street and you can just see an arrow pointing down.
Oh, good God, that's terrifying. I sincerely hope that
dating is stretching the term, I think.
Yeah,
Hookup apps. Yeah.
God. Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Is that from Black Mirror? Of your own internal
It should be on Black Mirror, shouldn't it?
It should be. Oh,
That's where I
God.
can see it kicking off.
I assume that you watch a lot of Black Mirror.
Yeah, I watched them all, yeah.
I haven't.
No?
It just got too dark.
No.
Yeah, it just after every one, apart from the one about the ones where they turned out they were in a computer and dead.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, that was a really nice one. And then I watched another one about, was it like about a paedophile or something like that? And they like shot him in the head. And then, you know, it's just like, everything's just really dark. And then the one where he had to look at adverts in a...
Yeah, whilst he's cycling.
It's just like, I don't know whether I want this... It's just so dark and horrible. It's like, do I want that in my life?
Have you seen Years and Years? Now that is too close to home for me.
It's happening
Yeah.
now.
That was very
Yeah.
uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah,
At least
it's
Black
awful.
Mirror is somewhat in the future.
Yeah, I admit to telling lots of people that they should watch Black Mirror, and that they should watch Years and Years, because it's very interesting, and didn't necessarily tell them how horrific it was, just because I wanted them to share my pain.
Yeah.
It's happening now, really.
We could only watch one episode. We watched one episode and it ended episode 1. And we're like, I'm done. That's enough. Is there more?
Did you watch all of Years and Years?
No, just one episode. I couldn't take any more than that one episode.
Honestly, the rest of it's fine.
I don't believe you for some reason.
Yeah, can't see why. No, it's very good. Highly recommend it. But yeah, if you don't want to be upset, and maybe with what's going on with the state of the world at the moment, maybe don't do that for your mental health.
No.
Yeah, it's a bit worrying about the whole. Whilst lockdown seems to work, the whole kind of like authoritarian aspect of it is a bit terrifying, and I do hope that all these measures are lifted as soon as possible, because people have got to go out and vote in America in not too long, and
Yes.
I imagine that if everybody was locked up in their houses, not able to leave because of virus,
God.
then perhaps the results of that election might be different to what they would be otherwise. That's if they have an election at all. Just call him King Trump. Get it over and done with.
Emperor Trump.
Yeah, that'll do. But yeah, that's just a little thing that's been kind of like niggling in my mind, that, you know, trapping people in their house
So
and not letting them leave. Anyway.
This is the interesting thing, I think, about you and me, is our ability to operate on the border of conspiracy theory, fear,
Yep.
hyperbole,
Yep.
but not step into madness.
Oh, have you managed to avoid that? All right. To me, I mean, you know, it's all like sci-fi, really. It's just like a sci-fi novel, but in real life. You know, because like, you don't need to necessarily take things seriously. You can like read conspiracy theories and go, that's sci-fi.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun to go, oh yeah, what if?
Kind of fun, yeah.
Like the same way I might read Hyperion,
Right.
and go, oh yeah, like this horrific shrike creature with 4 arms that travels through time. Yeah, that's a fun sci-fi story. I don't necessarily think it's real. It's entertaining. But yeah. So yeah, particularly what with what's going on in the world right now. You know, there's so much shit out there. There's so much nonsense. I am extremely sceptical of pretty much everything I read that isn't statistics.
Right.
Right now, I'm super skeptical about everything.
See-
but interesting thought experiments to be had with things.
Maybe that's why you're such a sort of node of information,
Maybe.
because everyone else is feeling that unease, but they don't have the smarts to study the statistics like you do. I certainly don't. You know.
I don't think I do either. I'm just a bit of a dick about it all. I don't know, but yeah, I've no idea why people listen to me. Maybe it's because I sound like I know what I'm talking about.
But you sort of got a character that you portray online, which is like as close as possible to being a dick.
Yeah.
But with a cheeky smile.
I try not to be a complete dick.
90% dick.
Yeah. I know, and I've certainly annoyed a fair amount of people. I was looking through all the people that I blocked on Facebook today because I blocked somebody else. It's quite a lot of people.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm interested in is the value of being able to find that spot, find that space, because you're still around, you're still doing interesting stuff.
It's pretty good.
Well, after Little Loud, what did you?
Oh yeah, after Steve Jobs rang that bell, and it was obvious that those companies would have a hard time. And I think with those kind of companies, unless you have an enormous amount of money saved up, if you don't win, if you lose a bunch of projects in a row, you're fucked.
Yeah,
that's it. That's the end. And it's happened to a fair few, Flash-based companies.
Shout out to Plugin, still going.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, fucking respect.
Need to get Dom on here. Find out how.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make sure you've got the microphones somewhat close.
I know how to do a microphone.
There you go. That's much better.
Excellent. Sorry, what was the question about Little Loud?
What happened to Little Loud, and what did you do immediately afterwards?
I mean, Little Loud was basically not winning a bunch of projects in a row. And as it got harder and harder with Flash being, not a thing anymore, then, if you don't win a bunch of projects, then that's it.
Yeah.
You've got to, well, you know what it's like, company owner. Straight after that, I was freelancing because I'd been learning Unity, and I'd done some Unity projects at Little Loud as well, like for Ironman, Transformers.
Oh God, yeah.
I think I did two things.
Man, I don't know what you're doing now, but I used to be so envious at the work you did.
Really?
So envious, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. Now it's all business.
B2B.
Yeah. But so just like kind of like doing Unity projects and funded R&D.
Funded R&D?
Yeah, where companies be like, well, we need to find out more about this thing.
Right.
Or we've got a client that wants to do effectively R&D that they need to show off internally.
Yeah.
And they've come to us to go, look, we need to make something cool.
And that's the thing that puts you in a position to have that freedom, right? And that,
and it was fun, but fundamentally, I don't know, I'm not good with accounts and so on, and just leaving things to the last minute. All I want to do is do the things that I know that I'm good at,
right,
and not do things like accounts and VAT and all that. And I just found all that so off-putting, and
it gets in the way of doing the work.
Exactly. And to be fair, like a lot of the talking to clients and so on, absolutely fine with doing that.
Yeah.
But that was not time that could be spent. I had to do that rather than do the work.
Yeah.
Which is why finding a business partner that can do all the talking to clients and can deal with all the stuff that I am not good at and don't want to be good at. Stuff that somebody that can take over those roles. Super important in me going, okay, freelancing is not a thing I want to do anymore.
So how long did you freelance for?
I think it was probably from starting the company up to shutting it down, probably like 9 years, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Christ, where's all the time gone? So how long? So now you're in a company, Future Visual.
Yeah, co-own Future Visual with Tim, and it was all just like because of our love for VR,
right?
Just like going, VR is amazing, because what was it, DK1 or DK2 back then when we started the company? But just like new tech, love new tech. You love new tech,
yeah.
Look at all of this stuff around us.
Gearhead.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. But
the first time I tried VR was your bedroom.
Oh, yeah, and in my living room at the mansion place at...
Not the mansion.
The mansion.
Let's be clear.
The mansion flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you spilt a pint of water everywhere.
Is that me?
Yes, definitely you. I remember that.
Did I have the VR headset on?
Yeah,
I'd be forgiven.
I think so. Yeah. That was DK1, wasn't it? I think that was
DK1. Yeah,
using my Mac. In the days when Macs weren't awful. Yeah,
it was mind blowing.
Yeah, it was quite something. I remember, just having a lot of fun on DK1 and going in terms of what it could be, what you could do with it, because it was shit, really. I mean, it was mind blowing, but comparatively, just 3DOF is,
like picking up an iPhone 1 now.
Yeah,
going.
Yeah, quite. Yeah,
amazing at the time, but
yeah. But yeah, when you compare it to what the Vives and so on, you can
I've not tried the recent wave.
Hang on, which one?
Well, the recent wave of headsets.
Right. Like the Valve Index.
Not tried that.
Very comfortable.
Right.
Great screen, but something that the screen on it is technically better in terms of pixel density.
Mm-hmm.
It's better. But there's something about the panel itself that is, it's meant to be like maybe truer colours or something, but everything just looks kind of flat and washed out instead of being like vibrant and punchy.
Right.
So when we view all the stuff we've done before, we're just like, it looks a bit kind of flat. I mean, you could do colour grading per headset, but it's a pain in the arse. It's just like kind of vibrant, punchy shit. Like, it's the guy that does Transformers, all the explosions.
Michael Bay.
Yeah, exactly. Love that shit.
You love Michael Bay.
Michael Bay's fucking awesome.
That's it. That's the other thing is you've got the confidence to like stuff that's not cool.
Oh, thanks.
That's the other thing we've got in common.
That was a quote.
Well, I think on my first date with Kirsty, I told her that I really like Robbie Williams. Because I did at the time. I thought he was cool.
Really?
Yeah, and she was like, really? That's brave to admit that on your first date.
That's quite something.
Yeah. That's something we've got in common.
Just to be clear, I don't think Robbie Williams is cool. Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do you still think he's cool?
He's lost his edge, I think, a little bit.
Right, fair enough.
But, and this was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, that was quite a while ago. Look, coughed in my hand.
Steady.
Shit.
Don't touch the table.
Fuck. Okay. Just remember not to shake your hand when I leave.
Just fist bumps only.
Yeah. No, it's elbow bumps.
Oh, elbow bumps.
That was the you see in the Ebola outbreaks. That's instead of handshakes, it's elbow bump. Yeah.
Wow. With the hazmat suit on, just headbutt.
Yeah.
So yeah, VR. So you were a pioneer of VR in Unity, probably. That's safe to say.
Yeah. I feel sad that I never kind of, because I've got quite a short attention span, I never released any of the experiments that I was working on publicly.
Right.
And that, I think, is a terrible shame. Because I think I could have, back then it would have been quite interesting to release stuff. I was certainly banged on about it a lot and, talked about it a few different places, got loads of people into VR to experience it.
Yeah.
And then all the stuff I did make in VR was all private and NDA'd. So that was annoying. Yeah. But then, work hard. And in my spare time, I don't want to continue working hard. So... yeah, kind of like working on my own stuff has never really been particularly appealing, I guess. You know.
did. I remember you doing something with image effects pretty early on. You did that shot in the shuttle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That got a lot of attention.
It did get a lot of attention. It got featured on the front page of the Unity website for months.
There you go.
Yeah.
What did that do for you? Did that bring people to your doorstep?
Got me shitloads of work.
Right.
Yeah. Loads and loads of stuff. But that was, I think, mainly about going, hey, Unity 5 new, because I was given like pre-release stuff where they had the, you know, various different they ripped out the Beast rendering engine and what did they put in? Light mapping. They put in, was it Enlighten? Yeah, Enlighten, and just playing about that and just seeing what could be done and piling image effects on. And I had, at that point, I had quite an interest in kind of photography, but translating photography into into a game engine, and just going, okay, I can set up scenes like I would do for a normal digital camera. So like going, okay, I can also set up scenes but have like some animation going on and image effects and pile those on. Just go, look, you can do that. It might have like, you know, it might render at 10 frames a second and have like 2,000 draw calls and wouldn't be useful in production right now. But yeah, it's like, it's stuff that hadn't really seen be done much, stuff like that, just to go, look, here's new tech, here's what you can do with it. And yeah, well, I ended up on the main stage at Unite conference in Amsterdam.
Wow.
Yeah, doing a talk about that.
Right.
Yeah. That's funny, because I only found out 7 days before that I was due to be on the main stage.
How did that go?
Well, I had, I think, my first ever proper panic attack when I found out. I thought I was just going over there to be on a panel, but it was a panel and on the main stage.
Amazing.
It's all based on a talk that I did at the Unity office in Brighton. I submitted it after the end of the submission date cutoff. They were like, yes, you're approved, but their emails didn't send out to me to tell me that I'd been approved,
right?
Because it was after the cutoff date, it was a bug in their system, and it didn't actually send me the email to say that I had been approved. So when I was just like, oh, well, I'm going over there, be on a panel, let's have a look, see who's on the schedule. Oh
that's my name.
God, me, I'm doing a talk on the main stage. Fuck. Did
they spell your name right?
They did.
Yeah.
Thank fuck. The important thing.
That's amazing. So you got invited, you got early access to tech. Is that because of a previous bit of work you did with
probably
them?
because I was like I guess, one of the UK's biggest fanboys of Unity.
Right.
But, you know, they helped me out. And, you know, I did a lot to drive everybody that was going from Flash going, what do we do now?
Right.
And people seemed to choose either HTML5, which I think at the time most people seemed to choose that, or they went into Unity.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just kind of like going, guys, Unity is really, really cool. So I don't know, always had a favourable relationship with Unity.
Yeah.
Good people.
Yeah.
Good tech.
Easy tool.
Yeah.
I guess when you made that maquette, would you call it, like motion photograph or whatever?
Yeah.
That was a vision of what Unity wanted to be able to achieve in the years to come, which they pretty much have now.
I guess, yeah. You know, what you can do with the latest, what the scriptable render pipeline and so on, amazing things. Unity can look like whatever you want it to look like now. It was fun playing about for a while with that, but yeah, now my head is now in all business to business VR and AR.
So how did that happen?
I have no idea. It wasn't a conscious decision.
That's another thing we've got in common.
Just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, now I'm just doing that. It's just like doing stuff for training people on airlines. It's just like, because it weren't that, like back then, there wasn't that many companies commissioning VR stuff. It was just like, well, training seems an obvious route, and kind of just went in that way, really.
And how did you meet your business partner?
I think it was through me posting on Facebook, maybe, or Twitter.
That's the way you do it.
Yeah. I mean, it works out.
Yeah.
It works out. I think that's how we met. And yeah, just doing freelance. I think it was AR stuff.
Right.
Might have been for Ferrari, maybe, or something like that. Right. Yeah. I think it was Ferrari through him. But yeah, that was ages ago. And then just bits and pieces of freelance and yeah.
So how long have you been doing that now?
time, where does it go? 4 years, I think. Yeah, it'll be about 4 years now.
And I understand you can't talk about anything you do.
No, can't talk about any of it. No. It's really cool.
I believe you. It's really cool. Are you still getting sent stuff from Unity?
No, not really. I don't know. I mean, I still.
If you were, you couldn't talk about it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I still, know lots of people there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that when you're particularly vocally supporting a company a lot, you get a lot of their attention. But when you're suddenly like, do you know what? I've got a mortgage and a dog and a fiance, and I'm just going to go and chill out and actually have a life instead of banging on about technology all the time.
It drops off.
It does, yes, which is completely understandable. Yeah.
So another thing that people that know you for is your BAFTA. It's just a running joke. Whenever you post anything now on social media, someone says, where's the picture of the BAFTA?
Yeah. Don't know what they're on about. What?
Obviously, winning a BAFTA is important.
Indeed.
But there's this sort of, I don't know, irony to the way you talk about it a lot.
I don't.
What's that about?
Everybody else brings it up. Like you did. Who brought it up just now? You. Not me. Honestly, I try not...
You've trained everyone to talk about it for you.
Yeah, pretty much. Get them to do the promotion for me. Marvellous. I try not to mention it at all anymore. I mean, it's so long ago. 11 years ago, I think. Something like that. 11 or 12. I think it might be 12 years in November the 30th at 8:15 p.m.
And that was a Bow Street Runner.
Yes. Weather, I don't know, like great team.
Yeah.
Worked on it. All of us worked our asses off. All of us should have got one.
Right. That's the thing about BAFTA, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's some weird choices you have to make.
Yeah. Because it was like, I think what it was on the website there was 3 people's names, basically head of production, head of art, head of tech. So when they filled it in, they put those names on there.
Yeah.
Whereas really they should have put everybody's names on there.
As I understand it, you can't put everyone's names on.
Oh, really?
It's either the company name.
Yeah.
Or up to 3 names. I could be wrong about it, but there's definitely something weird about not genuinely recognising who was involved.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's rather annoying.
Because a friend of mine was up for a BAFTA. He was involved in a piece of work, and he was the main person responsible. Right. But he didn't get named.
Right. That's well, that'd be rather annoying, wouldn't it? Yeah. But yeah, it was I don't know, complete surprise. We beat Moshi Monsters.
Really?
Moshi Monsters went on, of course, to be a global hundreds of £1 million company.
Yeah.
I
wonder what he's doing now.
Don't actually get him on the podcast, James.
Michael Acton Smith, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah. They did very well. But we got BAFTA. Which would you rather be? Like hundreds of millions or...
Do you think have you cashed in that BAFTA? Do you think it's helped? However, I think the biggest impact it had was on myself psychologically. Absolutely. Instead of being incredibly anxious and insecure constantly, suddenly, pretty much overnight, it took 6 months or a year, I guess, and a breakup. But yeah, I became a really obnoxious, self-confident arsehole. So that was a switch at some point?
Yeah, it was. James, you knew me back in the old days. I was nice. I was meek and mild.
Okay, so what you're saying is the BAFTA gave you confidence.
Yes, yeah. And I think that transferred across, work and life in general, just everywhere. Yeah, it was, I'm sure, winning one major life event,
Right.
massive life event.
I'm jealous, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you should be.
Yeah. I guess, so looking back then, could you have done anything else that wasn't win a BAFTA to improve your self-esteem?
I'm sure there would be lots and lots of things. I mean, that was all in conjunction with years and years of therapy as well, which could ramble on about forever. But
Is this where you started exploring NLP and things like that?
No, that was completely separate. NLP was about quitting smoking, which was very helpful. Therapy came... no, actually, therapy was before that. Started before that, but then went on for about a total of 15 years. So,
Wow.
Yeah,
we don't have to talk about that if you don't want to.
probably best not.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, therapy plus winning a BAFTA sorted you out.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I don't know. Changed me, maybe not sorted out. Is anybody ever sorted out? I don't know.
No.
Altered in a preferable way,
Right.
I would say. But yeah, certainly helped with work and life in general. Yeah, it's great. But yeah, everybody brings it up all the time, not me.
God, I'm going to have to go back through your post now and just find out.
Yeah.
You have tricked us all into talking about it for you.
Yeah, I know, it's amazing.
So we've obviously got a couple of awards that we won years ago, and I've just sort of forgotten about them now. They're not as important. No, I used to really care.
Yeah.
I used to really care about awards and the Metacritic score and things like that.
Yeah.
But I think life goes on even if you don't get that stuff, and you have value in your work. And
absolutely, yeah. I don't care about awards. I understand a lot of people do, and fair enough. If that's what they want to strive for, then fair play. But I think that's something that I've certainly realised over the last few years is just about happiness. Is kind of, I don't know. It's not about striving for things like that. Perhaps I've become more self-centred.
In a good way.
I'd hope so, in a good way. But just the life you live, the everyday life. What is that like? Is your life day to day good?
Right.
Was it the way you live your days, or the way you live your life?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just like, if you're not having a great time on a day to day basis, that is your life. You've only got one shot at this. So yeah, rambling.
So do you enjoy your everyday life at work then?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
What's your role there?
CTO.
Okay.
So telling people what to do, writing documents, talking to clients sometimes, mainly. Yeah, just kind of
investigating
figuring
stuff.
shit out. Yeah, some R&D, seeing where tech's going. But yeah, I'm doing less and less code these days, and kind of more thinking, I guess, which is nice, and kind of like a lot about how people interact with the technology as well. Making sure that users have a good time, trying to simplify quite complex things.
Right.
But yeah, it's kind of like having an overview of everything. But I'm sure you probably know what it's like, just writing lots of documents.
Yep.
Yeah. Not doing this
That's
stuff.
my job, basically.
Yeah.
And documents that very, very few people see.
Yes.
Often the staff don't see them.
Yeah. Nobody knows what goes in them. Yeah. And maybe like one or two people might see it at the other end. Yeah. It's kind of annoying not doing the stuff that you enjoy, but I don't know. It's kind of, living in a nice house by a park, go home to that, chill out.
But
Do I want to obsess over technology? I'm not sure.
Well, that's the thing. It takes effort to keep up, doesn't it?
It does.
The older you get, the more effort it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Easier to keep up about current affairs like coronavirus.
Indeed.
And Brexit.
Let's steer away.
Yeah.
Swerve. Yeah, I said on the previous podcast, my job satisfaction's changed from enjoying making games to actually enjoying doing the business development.
Yeah.
Because, it feels great to land a project that might be 18 months work of fun for people.
Yeah.
So the job sort of morphed into designing a game to designing a studio trajectory.
Right. That's interesting.
Which is, I've embraced that.
Yeah.
And the other thing I've really embraced is doing one-to-ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we try and do one-to-ones every month.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
Sometimes we're on a business trip or something, we can't do it every month, but the cadence seems to be about once every 2 months.
Right.
Yeah, and I just give myself for the whole day and just have however long each person needs to just get things off their chest. And
that's a really good idea.
It's really good both ways. I get to really understand what it is that is troubling or frustrating or exciting people, and get to help steer it or fix problems or...
Yeah. So you're kind of HR as well?
In that particular role, yes. I don't really lead the interviews and things, or anything to do with the management of the staff. Kirsty deals with all that, and we've got a studio manager, Hayley. But yeah, I do the one-to-ones because I think it's important for the head of the studio to do one-to-ones.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's good,
but that takes all day.
It takes all day.
Yeah.
And I think as we keep growing, it'll probably take over a day.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Sometimes it takes over a day.
Yeah.
The last one-to-one day we had, I think I had one guy in for an hour and a half, and we were just talking stuff through.
Yeah.
It was really good. And afterwards
Excellent.
He came on Slack and said, I really valued that one-to-one.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
that made me feel great.
It's easy to be, I don't know, to feel not valued, I think.
As a company owner.
Yeah, people are just like, whatever. It's like, I haven't got anybody to talk to. I wish I could talk to somebody like the way that, previously I might, complain to.
Yeah, you can't vent.
No. You can about maybe day-to-day things.
Yeah.
But certainly at a higher level, you can't really do that. Yeah. Well, in fact, you can with Kirsty.
I can with Kirsty.
Then that's your entire life, isn't it? It's just like home, work. Yeah.
So we can't talk about work on holiday, so we end up sitting in silence.
Looking at the dust storm, going, well, at least you weren't trapped in a hotel because of the virus, like those poor people in Tenerife.
I know.
Yeah, could be worse.
I felt lucky taking off from the island adjacent.
God, yeah. When I saw that, I was thinking, I was like, oh, wow. God, he's probably going to come back with the virus, isn't he? Shit.
I think I've escaped it so far.
Fingers crossed. He did cough earlier, I did notice.
Well, I don't know what to do with this mask.
Well, fashion accessory. I think it looks quite cool.
Do you think we're going to need them?
No.
Do you think? No.
No.
We hyped each other up into buying them, didn't we?
We did. And I think that, didn't you tell me you had a couple of beers?
Yeah, I'd had a couple of beers.
Also, another one of my friends has got these as well. Bought on the same day, I think.
Right.
All of us might be having a bit of a panic over Messenger, going, oh, shit. If we need these, the world is going to be really fucked.
Yeah, and it's not really going to help.
No. One of the things I was thinking was that if we had to send people home from work, if anything went wrong, because a lot of our stuff is in the cloud, but we have physical servers at work, that if one of them should there be a power cut or something and they power off and need to be turned on, or something goes wrong and I need to go and fix it.
Hazmat time.
Yeah, exactly. And just like, well, if I need to go into that office in kind of sense for Brighton, then I want to make sure that I am reasonably confident that after wearing this and then burning all my clothes that I've worn into the plague pit, turn the computer back on so everybody else can function like working from home, then I need something like this. But I guess if I was really taking it seriously, I should have got a hazmat suit as well, but that would just be crazy, wouldn't it, James?
Where's the line? Because I bought those masks and Kirsty was like, at what point do you pull those out? At what point do you think you're just going to give these out?
Yeah.
And I couldn't answer that question, obviously.
I can.
Go on.
Okay. Because back then they weren't really, it was only China that had done lockdown.
Yeah.
Where people are allowed out occasionally to the supermarket, like once every few days, you can go and buy some food. If Brighton and Hove was put on lockdown and you were allowed to go out to the supermarket to buy some food, and that there might be stuff, that it could be on surfaces or whatever. Surely that would actually be an applicable time to wear it.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Did you get gloves as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. And seal goggles?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was told off by a bunch of preppers for not getting the right goggles.
Oh, really?
Swimming goggles.
Oh, really?
Swimming goggles.
A bunch of preppers. See,
Yeah.
I'm not in this community.
I got kicked out of that community. Because I
When
was
did you join that community?
I was just like, I wonder what they're talking about, coronavirus preppers. And I was like, all right, I'll have a look. I was like, you're all mental.
Is that on Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, I'm kicked out.
I need to go and look at that.
Yeah, I'm kicked out. Sad. I was just like, I wanted to see what they were doing.
What did you do to get kicked out?
I wasn't panicking enough. I was like, no, you don't need to worry that much. That's probably not going to happen. It's going to be all right. I mean, sure, yeah, probably be, reasonable worst case, a few 100,000 die in the UK. That's reasonable. It's probably not going to be the end of civilization.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And they couldn't handle that.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, they kicked me out of the group. Fuckers. I don't know, it's quite entertaining seeing, what they were actually doing. If it all does go to shit, then they've got the right idea. So, in terms of, what they're going to buy. So, but still.
Yeah.
Won't come to that though, right?
It shouldn't. But it died down a bit, and then we went on holiday.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, Italy.
All just, it kicked off. Italy, Iran. It's all a bit concerning.
But it does. There's a whiff of it being a meta narrative.
In what context?
So I don't know if I'm going to get this right, but when a story gets significant attention from the global press, other stories that wouldn't necessarily normally get airtime jump up and catch the
Yep.
same broadcast.
Yeah.
The zeitgeist.
Yeah.
And so when you see things like Italy's gone down into lockdown now, if it wasn't what had already happened in China,
Yep.
and we weren't intensely focused on it, it wouldn't be such a big story.
No.
It would have happened and died. But because everyone is focused on this right now,
Yep.
anyone that's got a story about this can feed into it and get reported.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
And it becomes this meta story or meta narrative.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's
So-
where I guess conspiracy theories and
Exactly.
so on come in. Yeah. Yeah.
It's the magnification.
Yep. Yep. Yes. I blame Twitter for everything. Pretty much. It's awful and wonderful and everything in between.
Yeah. It's a mirror. It's a mirror of
God.
humanity.
That's terrifying. A mirror maybe amplifies it a bit as well. Do
Yeah.
you see everybody shouting at tea?
At who?
Tea.
Oh,
Yorkshire tea.
I did see that, yeah.
God.
Shouting at tea.
Yeah, it's completely insane. Oh dear.
I'll tell you what, I was quite not impressed, but I guess there was an important watershed moment when everyone complained about Sonic the Hedgehog,
Yeah.
and they fucking went back and changed it
I was like, oh,
and
no.
spent millions probably.
Yeah,
to fix it.
undoubtedly.
That's serious power, isn't it?
Yeah, it's terrifying. God, the wisdom of crowds.
No.
No. Good God.
Yeah, but that's turned out all right. So that doesn't help.
No.
That
no.
adds fuel.
Yeah, that's worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember what we did for Sonic? We can do it again for
Yeah. Oh,
Yorkshire
good
tea or
God.
whatever it is. Yeah.
Like retcon the whole of Star Wars.
What was that?
Just like, if people could retcon the whole of the recent Star Wars movies, the ones that everybody's complained about.
Right.
I mean, personally, I think they should have stopped at Return of the Jedi and not did anything else since. I now think that.
Right.
Because I'm one of those annoyed, entitled man babies, obviously. Shit.
What else we got here? Oh yes, Ironman.
Yes.
When did that start? Your obsession with Iron Man. Is that an obsession? Or is it a deep and studied interest?
Some kind of symbiosis. No. I've done some promotional work for Ironman, the first one.
Aforementioned.
Yeah.
Right.
And went to see it in the cinema, and I didn't really know anything about it, and I wasn't into comics And I saw it, and I just thought it was just one long advert for the military-industrial complex in America and American supremacy.
Right.
It was a bit shit. And some time passed, and maybe I was just in a bad mood that day, because then I watched it again. I was like, holy shit, it's fucking amazing. I love it. And somebody, I don't know who said it, but at the time when I was younger and prettier and slimmer, it's like, you look a bit like Robert Downey Jr. And I was like, holy shit, yeah, I do. Oh my God, he's a fucking nerd as well. And yeah, I don't know. And just suddenly I realised that in fact Ironman was who I wish I was. But sadly we don't live in a comic book world. But yeah, Tony Stark, you know.
It's a cool dude.
What a guy.
How did you deal with Endgame?
I cried.
Did you?
Yes, of course I cried. Of course I cried. Did you?
No.
No?
Actually,
You monster.
I had a little bit of a lump in the throat.
Yeah.
With the story about Captain America.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Stark.
What? Don't you fucking start. No, yeah. Don't know. Those Marvel movies were quite something. Just, will we ever see the likes of anything like that again? Like, what, a decade of work? All
Still going, aren't they? They haven't actually stopped.
That was the end, though, really, wasn't it? They're starting another big kind of, yeah. Can anything like that happen again? I don't know.
I can remember when it first started up and thinking, if I was a 7-year-old, this would be the most important thing in my life.
I mean, when it all started up, I was 30. Going, oh my God, even though I'm 30, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Big child at heart. Definitely.
Have you seen there's a Netflix Transformers cartoon?
No.
Yeah.
Is it any good?
I've not seen it. I think it's coming out soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's Generation 1. Legit, old school
Excellent.
Transformers.
Oh, cool.
3D animation.
Yeah. Very cool. No, I haven't heard anything about that.
I'm surprised.
Is it like, it's not like cell shaded?
It's cartoon.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's cell shaded.
That style, maybe.
It's definitely not CGI.
Right.
You know, it's not Bayformers.
I do quite love Bayformers.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of fun.
Did you like the Bumblebee movie?
I thought it was better than all of the other Transformer movies.
Okay.
It was really good. What about you?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
It wasn't Bay.
No. Was it not Bay?
No.
No. Oh, right. Okay. No, I can kind of see that. Yeah, it was very, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. Excellent.
I'm done.
Anything more on your sheet? No.
Let's have a look. I think we've asked you everything.
Mind my brain.
Oh, there is one thing. And that's the book, The Power of Now. Is that... Because you went on a bender on that, didn't you?
Yes.
When I say bender, I mean you tried to encourage everybody that you knew to read it.
Yeah, I think anybody. Yeah, I found it very. It is completely against everything that I stand for.
In that it's quite
heebie-jeebie woo bullshit.
Woo-woo.
Yeah. Don't like it. But
I think you had this exact same sentiment to it that I had, which was, there's some amazing ideas in here. I wish it was written in modern language.
Yes.
And losing all the religious baggage.
Yeah, just a different way. But it's just a way of like picturing reality, I guess, and reality in human interactions and yourself. But yeah, it's very good, wrapped in layers of bullshit.
Yeah.
But the core truths are there, and from what I've read, appear to have been kind of like used again and again through history. And oh God, I can't remember. There's some various religions seem to kind of like. I mean, this is years ago. But I remember seeing like some of the core bits it talked about had kind of been used here and there in history in various different kind of religions, but I can't remember quite which ones they were, what it was. But it was transformative. Nasty breakup and not in a good place in general. And then, reading that just changed the way that I thought about everything pretty much overnight.
It's amazing.
Over the course of 48 hours, maybe. Everything changed. The way that I thought about everything was completely different. So, a very good book.
That was A Walk on the Beach, if you remember. Do you remember?
I do. Yeah. Yes. And then we watched, what did we watch? Eye in the Sky.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was that one. That one about piloting a drone.
Yeah, the drone.
Yeah. Went to the cinema and watched that afterwards.
Yeah.
Was it?
I enjoyed it.
I wasn't paying much attention to it, like going, what the fuck is going on with my life?
So the reason I bring that up is, well, one thing, I agree with you that the book has got so many problems. And if you're allergic to reading about anything religious, which I think we both are.
Yes, definitely.
It'd be easy to just go, this is bullshit, throw it away. But I sort of knew that you would, because I know that you investigate stuff, you'd find the core truth in it.
Yep.
And I think it's a shame that other people can't sort of suspend their allergy to get at the deeper truth.
Suspend their disbelief and just kind of, see what's actually buried in there. Because, I mean, it's valuable and, it helped me for sure. I'm sure it can help a lot of people. But, it'd be nice if it was rewritten with some more current modern day things on it, I think.
Yeah. We need a version 2. Or just an alternative view.
Yeah. Like a New Testament.
Oh, dear.
Maybe that's what they thought back then. Like, it's the old one. It's the heebie-jeebie.
Get rid of all that nonsense.
Yep. Here's a version 2.
Yeah. So do you still feel that do you still think about that book?
No.
Right. Okay.
No.
It just made a change and that was it.
It made the change that needed to happen.
Yeah.
And then discarded it and moved on. I suspect if there are any other difficult points in my life, I might read it again.
Right.
It served its purpose, and now I am done with it. Doesn't sound very nice, does it? But,
do you do any kind of like mindfulness bits?
No.
Meditation or anything like that?
No, I have done in the past.
Right.
But no.
You're all good right now?
Yeah. Everything's pretty sweet. So I don't find that I have the requirement for that, but I'm aware it is there should I feel that I need it.
Yeah.
Don't know, maybe in the wasteland after the virus, maybe I will need that.
Okay, man.
We shall see.
Unless you've got anything you want to talk about.
No, I'm good, man. I need to go back and pet my dog.
Nice.
Yeah, boop his little nose.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, James.
It's been a pleasure. Cheers.
Very kind. Cheers.